ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, verse number 41. We just completed reading the prayers of Brahmaji, and in the last verse he asked for permission to leave, last verse. And then he paid respect to Krishna, his dress, his ornaments, everything. And now this verse describes that he leaves. So Sukadeva Goswami continues to describe. Sri Shuka Uvacha iti abhishtoya bhumanam त्रिपरिक्रम्य पादयोः नत्वाभीष्टं जगद्धाता Swadhama Pratyapadyata. So in this way, after reciting stuti, prayers to Sri Krishna, who is Bhuma, who is the great person, and he did 3 parikramas of Krishna, circumambulated Krishna 3 times, and Padyo Natva, and he bowed down to his feet, and Abhishtam Jagadhata Swadhama Pratyapadyata. And then he, the creator of the universe, he returned to his own abode. So Brahma recited 40 slokas. It's a long prayer. And then he goes back. So he did only 3 parikrama. How many he should do? So why he did 3? He says 3 parikram mein padayo natva abhishtam. So what is the reason that he did 3 and not 4? Having 4 head, doing only 3 parikrama. What is the logic behind it? Should think. So Abhishtam Bhāgavata Prasthapayitum iti shesha. So the word Abhishtam here goes Abhishtam Bhumanam, who is Abhishta, but also it means that Krishna who wanted him to be in his own place. So why he wanted him in his own place? So he says because he is Jagadhata. He has a responsibility, yato Jagadhata. Anyatha sahasa tatpadatyajane vishvasishter asiddhe. Otherwise, suddenly, if he drops his position, then the creation work will not function properly. So this is important point also to understand from bhakti point of view, that for devotee seva is life. So not that he can enjoy association of Krishna, he has his prescribed seva which he should do. So therefore he returned to his seva. And devotee's life is very seva. So this Brahma is demonstrating this by returning. That's why the word Jagadhata is mentioned here, otherwise there was no need of it. So if we are given some responsibility, then we should not just forsake it and run away. That means we are not a responsible person. Although devotee should be most responsible. Why devotee is most responsible? Because other people, they do some work or take care of responsibility for a motive. Generally it is money. So if they are not getting the desirable amount, or they are getting better elsewhere, then they can leave and go there, because they are not committed to the person for whom they are doing the seva. Their commitment, unstated commitment, is to the result of their action. And if they can find a better position, better remuneration, or better circumstances, then they will drop and go. So in case of devotee, that is not the consideration. The consideration is pleasing Krishna or devotees under whom one is working. So that is the difference between seva and work. So somebody was asking today, seva and karma. So karma or work means that you do it because you require some fruit Yad yad karoti tat tat kamas, yad tat karoti jantu tat kamas cheshtritam. So everyone is doing something because of some chesta, for kama chesta, or some desire, some fruit, outcome. The goal is not the action. The goal is the result which will come out of the action. फल व्यापारी और धातु तिंगर्थस्तु. So ashrayastu tingasmrita. So dhatu kriya has phala and vyapar. For every action there is a vyapar, some movement, some secondary movements that include in part of it. Another is the end result. But bhakti is different. So bhakti is unending. It's not that when the result comes then bhakti ends. All other actions end when the result comes. If you want to go from here to some place, then you move. But your movement will come to an end when you reach that place. So bhakti continues. That's why it is eternal. So it is not for the phala, it's just for the vyapar. The vyapar continues. So the phala of bhakti is bhakti only. So that's why it is considered as unconditional or without result in the sense of independent of bhakti. So therefore he says that Jagadhata Swadhama Pratyapadyata. So he Jagadhata is to indicate that he has a responsibility as a creator. So he goes to his office from where he executes his service. So tatascha yavad adhikaram avasthitir adhikarikanam iti nyayena adhikarante tadabhishtam setsyati iti buddhyate. So this is a Vedanta Sutra which says that yavad adhikaram avasthitir adhikarikanam, that these are post of Brahma, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, etc. These are posts. These are not specific names of people, but they are posts. And one who is given that job, then he has to stay in that post for that period of time. And after that, whatever they have to attain, they will attain after that. If they are devotees, then they will go to Vaikuntha. If they attained it by the power of karma, then they will come down again, take birth on earth. So therefore he says that at the end of their adhikara, when their period is over, then they will get their abhishta, their desired result. Means if Brahma desired this, that he wants to be in Vrindavan, so he will have his desire fulfilled, but after his adhikara period is over. So that is also the situation with others. So these adhikaris, these offices are held sometimes by devotees, sometimes Bhagavan himself may take the position, sometimes one gets it by the power of karma. Like they say, if you do 100 Aswamedha Yajnas, then you can have the post of Indra. So then that is not going to give something higher than that. They only will have their period, then they come down. But if they are devotees, then after that they attain Bhagavan's abode. So that's what is being described here, that iti nyayena adhikarante tadabhishtam setsyati buddhyate. That after their adhikara, their time period is over, means Brahma's 100 years will be over. It's already now 51st year of Brahma now. So he has still 49 more years to go. Then he will attain his wish, what he wanted. In the meantime, he may be praying many more times. But Krishna comes once a day from Brahma. So tato anugyapya bhagavan svabhuvam pragavasthitan vatsan pulinam maninye yatha purva sakham swakam. So now what did Krishna do after Brahma left? That is being described here in this verse. Because originally it was Krishna's story which was being told. In between Brahma appeared. So one whole chapter went in that. Now we come back to. So tato anugapya bhagavan swabhuvam. So swabhuvam means Brahma, who is born from him. So then Bhagavan, after giving permission to Brahma, then what he did? Pragavasthitan vatsan pulinam aninya. So he brought the calves to the bank of Yamuna, who were situated as before. So now the situation came to normal, the way it was 1 year ago. Exactly 1 year ago, the way the calves were grazing, so now they were again grazing in the same way. So therefore, those were the ones which were hidden by Yogamaya, and Brahma stole the Maik ones. Now that part is over. So now those come back, and he brought them so that all the children, they see that okay, calves are grazing here and we can have our lunch. And yatha purva sakham swakam. And then yatha purva sakham means the friends, the original friends, not the ones which were expansions of Krishna. So now they appeared exactly the way they were before 1 year ago. So now the situation exactly, sometimes people say, is it possible to go back in time? Right? So now Krishna is going back in time 1 year. Everything goes back 1 year. Exact same point. So 1 year, half a second. So this is being described here. Swabhuvam Brahmanam Anugapya iti. So the word Swabhuvam means Brahma, Anugapya means permitting him. So how does Sukadeva Goswami say that Krishna permitted him? Because he did not speak anything. Right? He did not say anything. There is no mention here. So he says Maunenaiv, by remaining silent. So Anujanihi Mam Krishna iti agya prarthane krite maunam sammati lakshanam iti brahmana sahasavgamat. So Brahma has said this Anujanihi Mam Krishna sarvam tum vedsi sarvadrik. In verse 39 he has said that please allow me to leave. So Krishna did not say anything, so why did he leave? He should have waited or asked him again, can I go? Please, did you listen to me? So he did not, he left. So why did he leave? So he says because there is a saying that maunam sammati lakshanam. That if somebody asks you something and you don't say anything, that means you agree. So there are two ways to agreeing. One is explicit agreement, other is implicit agreement. So when you don't say anything, you don't say no, you don't say yes. So what is it to be taken, as yes or as a no? So it is taken as yes. So therefore Brahma understood that he has given me permission, and thus he left. Sahasavgamat. Maun Tyaga Bhavastu. So why Krishna did not break his silence? What was the reason for that? Now he explains that. So Pashupa Vansa Shishutva Dashayam Angikritasya Brahma Mohanartham Natyasya Arambha Parisamapti Siddhyartha. He says that Krishna has started his acting to bewilder Brahma. When Brahma came and he understood that Brahma has stolen, so then he started acting to bewilder Brahma. So he continued acting till Brahma left. That's why he did not speak. So he was acting as if he knows nothing, as if he doesn't understand what is he saying. So his acting started when he went in search. He did not find the cows. When he came back, he did not find the boys. Then he understood what has happened. So then he started acting. So he acted just like a cowherd boy, because this is what Brahma was thinking. I say, okay, I will see who is he. So Krishna says, okay, I am a cowherd boy. That's what I am actually. I am not Bhagavan, I am not anything, I am not Paramatma, I am just a cowherd boy. So I will act like that. So therefore he says, Pashupa Vansha Sheshutva Dashayam Angikritasya. So he took the role of acting in the situation when he was the son of Nanda Maharaj, a cowherd boy. So therefore now he has to continue that role. Suddenly he cannot become Bhagavan in that. So he remained that. So he continued and then he ended in that role only. Not that suddenly now he says, okay Brahma, you can go, I understand your prayers, fine, thank you. Very good. No. Says, what is he doing? Who is he? So he was just looking very bewildered at Brahma, as if he doesn't understand a word. So tatra tato vatsan drishtvaetya pulinepi cha vatsapan ubhavapi vane krishno vichikaya samantata. So this is when tato vatsan adrishtva etya pulinepi, that when he went in search, he did not find the calves there. Then he came back to the bank of Yamuna. And Vatsapanacha, he did not find the cowherd boys also. So Bhavapi Vane Krishna Vichikaya. Then he was searching for both of them in the forest. And that's when he realized what has happened. So iti Vatsa Balaka Anveshana Natyarambe. So then he started acting as if he is searching for them. So that's when he took the role of an actor. And he is good at acting. He is a serious actor. So Natvarvapu, Barhapidam Natvarvapu. His Vapu is Natvar. He is the best of the Natas, best of actors. So iti Vatsa Balaka Anveshana Natya Arambhe नौमीड्यते इत्यादि ब्रह्म स्तुतौ प्रवृत्तायाम कुतस्त्योयम चतुर्मुख. So then when the whole scene happened and Brahma saw all this Vishnu form, this, that, then he is standing there and then Brahma starts praying to him. So he is still acting. He is saying, who is this? Kutastoyam? From where has this come? And what is this special species? 4 heads, Chaturmukha? Kim chestate? What is it doing here? I've never seen somebody like this. Kim va muhur brute? And he is talking. What language is he speaking? So he was just very curious. He had that rice in his hand and stick and flute in the other, and he is looking at Brahma. Say, wow, what is this? So this was his acting. Iti swavatsa anveshana vyagroham gopshishunam buddhaye iti vyanjakena monenaiva tasya natyasya parisamapti. So is saying as if he was very like disturbed in his mind, trying to search for his calves and cowherd boys, and then suddenly he sees this four-headed fellow doing something. So in that state he is standing there. And Gopi Shishur na buddhayati. And Gop Shishu, I'm just a cowherd boy and I don't understand anything. He indicated that by his acting, that I don't know what the heck is going on here. And who is this? Iti vyanjakena monenaiva tasya natyasya. So therefore he ended his acting by keeping silent. Because if he breaks his silence, then acting is also broken. That means he is not cowherd boy, he is somebody else, he is understanding. So that's not acting. Swadhin brahmano agre krishnena निज mahashwaryasya ajnanam abhiniyate smaiti. So Brahma, who is under his control, he acted ignorant of his own majesty in front of Brahma. So Brahmano agre krishnena nij maheshwaryasya ajnanam abhiniyate. Brahma was speaking about all his greatness, all his wonderful features, and he was acting as if he is absolutely ignorant about it, what he is talking about. So tannatya shabdena uchyate. So this is what by the word natya has been said here. Tatra udvahat pasupavamsa shishutva natyam. So this came in 13th chapter, 61st verse. So he was acting this Pashupa Vamsa Shishutva Natyam. So he was acting like a little boy born in the cowherd family. This was his role. I mean, it is not his role, he is like that, but now to Brahma, he is being just natural. Means nothing more than that. I'm just a village boy, I know nothing who you are, what you are saying. I have no idea. So this is what it was said, Natyam there. So Vishwanath Chakravarti is relating the present verse to that verse of 13th chapter. So now the question may be raised that is he doing this kind of acting then with his parents, friends also? Is he doing that? So he says no, with them he is not acting, with them he is actually like that. So Vatsalyadi Ras Parikara Vrajeshwaradi Nam Agre Tu Tan Maha Premadhine Krishne Nij Maheshwaryasya Tan Maha Prem Madhurya Rasa Achhaditasya Ajnanam Yatharthamem. So in front of Yashoda Mata, who has Vatsalya feelings or Vatsalya Rasa for Krishna and other Parikaras, other associates, Krishna remains under the control of their supreme prema, supreme love. And because of this love, because of the sweetness of this supreme love, he remains ignorant of his great Aishwarya. And this ignorance is real, not acting. So what he's saying is that in case of Brahma, Brahma was under his control and he was aware of Krishna was aware of his own majesty, but he was acting as if I don't have any majesty, I have no power, nothing. So he was feigning ignorance of his Aishwarya. in front of Brahma. But then in case of Vrajavasis, there also he remains ignorant of his Aishwarya, and that ignorance is real. It is not acting. It's not that inside he knows that actually I am Swam Bhagavan, you guys, you don't know this. But I said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So I will also act as if I have no Aishwarya, but I have it. So not like that. So that is the difference. Although it appears exactly as if he is doing the same to both of them. Tatra na tasya abhinayati. So in front of them he is not acting. He is truly like that. That's why Kunti Devi was praying to Krishna that yad bibheti bhayam swayam, that person to whom the fear personified fears, that person was fearing Yashoda, and tears flowing. When I think of this, my mind gets bewildered, because she knew that this was not acting. This was real. Samam vimoheti. That scene is bewildering to me. So that's why he says it is not abhinay, this is not acting. Na tan natya shabde vachyamiti vivechniyam. So this should not be understood as his behavior towards them as acting or meaning of the word acting. So that is the power of prema, that prema actually makes Krishna forget about his Aishwarya. He is not only when it is needed to protect his devotees, then Aishwarya becomes manifest by Yogamaya, by his Leela Shakti. Otherwise, at other times, he just remains normal, cowherd boy. So this is a very nice comment by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti. Now he comes back to the sloka. It says Prag avasthitan. What does the word Prag means? Prag means earlier, east. It's also called Prag. So Prag avasthitan here means Pragvad eva. So this is in relationship with the calves. That the calves as they were before, Trina Charanadi Cheshtabhir avasthitan. As they were grazing before Brahma stole them, so they were again in the same position, exactly same. So those are the calves, he brought them back. So Swakam Swabhojan Sthanam Pulinam Anindi. So he brought them to the bank of Yamuna where they were having their lunch. Kidrisham, how was the situation there, or to what kind of place? He says Yatha Purvam Purvopaveshadikam Anitikrimye Aparitrajya Vartmana Sakhayo Yatra. So now these friends were also sitting as they were sitting before, in the same order, same place, exactly the same food, everything was same. Samasanta Arsha, the Samasanta is Arsha. Yadva yathavadeva sthita puru sakha sarup bhut sakhebhya puru sakhayo yatra tat. Or it yatha purva sakham means the earlier sakhas before Krishna manifested himself as friends. So before that, that's what the word means. So now they are going to have their lunch after 1 year. It's a strange lunch. Start eating, then you give a break for 1 year. Right? In between he has had 365 lunches. Now he comes back to the same lunch. So ekasminnapi yatebde pranesham chantaratmanah krishnam maya hata rajan kshanardham me nirebhaka. So arbhaka kshanardham me nire. So these children, they considered this time to be a moment, although 1 year has passed. So yate abde ekasminnapi, although 1 year has passed, but for them it appeared as if only one moment has passed. So pranesham vina cha antaratmanah krishnam mayahata. So without Krishna, although 1 year has passed, but it appeared to them like a moment. Generally it is other way around, that in separation time passes very slowly. So maya hina kalpa sama babhu. Krishna says, te maya anurakta chitta maya hina kalpa sama babhu. So tastakshapa, that all those nights they passed like a moment, but in my absence one moment appeared like a kalpa to the gopis. This is a symptom of Mahabhava. Here 1 year of separation is like a moment. So he says, why it happened? He says, Maya Hata. This is because they were under the influence of Krishna's Yoga Maya. Therefore they did not know this much time has passed. So atra tavat kala jnanam tatheva. So here there is ignorance of time, and they are in the same situation. Kavalpani krishnasya agatasya tei saha tatheva bhojan-līlā sheshādikam dustark yoga maya vaibhavam evatya. So now when Krishna returned, he returned in the same position as he had left 1 year ago, because he was sitting down and eating, and it was described that he has this yogurt rice on his left hand, and he was eating with those tatfalani angulusi, right? That he had that pickle stuck in between his fingers, and then he went in search. Now he comes back, same situation. So he says Kavalpani, having that food on his palm. Krishnasya agatasya, he came. Taisaha. So now again the Bhojan-līlā, they will complete their lunch. So how it happened? Dustarka yoga maya vaibhavam. This is possible because of yoga maya's potency, which is beyond all logic, beyond all tarka. Ekasmin ityadi chaturbhi. So this is described in 4 slokas. Atmanah swasya pranesham krishnam. So Krishna is their pranesha, he is the master of their life. Antara vinapi. So even in his absence, yoga maya ahata avrita. So because their intelligence was covered by yoga maya, and therefore they did not know that 1 year has passed. So nothing really changed. Everything remained same. Kim kim na vismaranti ha maya mohit chetasaha yan mohitam jagat sarvam abhikshnam vismitatmakam. So now he is giving an example to understand this, that how is this possible? What is this Maya? So he says, just as here in this material world, people whose minds are bewildered by the power of Maya, then they forget so many things. Today you may be in very intense relationship with somebody, then you have a breakup, then after 5-10 years you don't remember anything about that person, right? Then somebody got Alzheimer, doesn't remember anything. It's double Maya, regular Maya and special Maya. So Vismaranti, you forget everything. So he says that this Maya here in the material world is so powerful that Vismrita Atmakam, people have forgotten their own self. Is it ever possible to forget yourself? You can forget so many things. Can you forget yourself? Only if somebody is highly intoxicated, right? I read one story like that one guy, he was working in the office, regular. So then he goes to the room where some of his colleagues were sitting and he asked, have you seen David? So everybody looked at him. He says, what? He says, have you seen David? He says, what do you mean, I've seen David? You are David. So he was so stressed out that he forgot himself. So generally you can forget so many things, but you don't forget yourself. But here in the material world, everybody has forgotten themselves. Right? Vismrita Atmakam. Because everybody is in Maya thinking I am this body. So this is forgetting ourselves. So that's why he says, Kim Kim na Vismaranti he Maya Mohi. He says, what is that you cannot forget? You can forget anything, including yourself. So Maya has this power. And if this Maya can have this power, then what to speak of Yoga Maya? So it can also. So yan mohitam jagat sarvam abhikshnam. He says, being bewildered by this Maya, everybody here in the material world has forgotten themselves. Everybody. See the great power of Maya. So, Mohana sadharmyene Yoga Maya Bahirang Mayam Drishtantet. So, because Yoga Maya and this Mahamaya, they have the basic characteristic that they make you forget yourself. This is the common feature of Maya. Common feature of Maya is that it makes you forget. So to make us understand what is Yoga Maya, he is giving an example of this Maya which we are familiar with. That just as this Maya makes us forget ourselves, Yoga Maya can also make them forget that 1 year has passed. Says it is possible, why not? So Vismritam Atma Yena Tat. People here in the material world are called Vishmrit Atmak. That they have forgotten their own self. So if cowherd boys forget that 1 year has passed, it's no big deal. At least they have not forgotten themselves. But we forget ourselves. So tathaiva yoga maya varsham vyapya Krishna viraha dukkham te vismarita. So therefore, by the power of Maya, they did not remember the suffering of separation from Krishna for 1 year. So then Krishna, when he came back with the cow, he says, Uchuscha Shruhida Krishnam Swagatam te atiramhasa Nekopya bhoji kavala ehita sadhu bhujyatam. So then the Shruhida Uchu, the friends, cowherd boys, they spoke to Krishna. He says, welcome Krishna, welcome. You came so quick. So, Ati Ramhasa. 1 year has passed and they're saying, yeah, we are so good. You found the calves and brought them here so fast. He says, Nekopi bhoji kavalam. He says, we have not eaten even one morsel of food in your absence. So come, sit down and let's eat nicely now. So they all waited for him for 1 year. But they're thinking that he had just gone and come back. So Arbhaka Uchuhu, the boys, they said, Ati Ramasa Sukhe Naiva Agatam, you have come very quick, didn't take much time. Durgata Vats Anayane Ghatika Eka tu Avasyam Bhavishyati iti Asmabhir Vicharitam. We thought that you have gone far away to get these calves, so at least one Ghatika, 24 minutes will pass. But you came just like Kshanardhenaiva Agatam iti bhava. But you have come as if half a moment has passed. You are so good. Ekopi kavalo grasas tvaya vina na bhoji. So in your absence, we have not eaten even one morsel of food. So this is because they didn't want to eat without him. They have so much love for him. They wanted to enjoy their meal with him. So now they are saying, Tasmad ita ehi. Therefore you come here, sit down and let's continue eating. Since now our cows have come back, now we can eat peacefully without any anxiety. Tato hasan hrishikesho abhyavritya saharbhakaihi darshins charmajagaram nevartatvanada vrajam. So now Krishna, he laughed or smiled, and with his friend he ate. And after eating, then he showed them that, look, the snake I killed this morning. So Darshyan's charma ajgaram. So he showed them the skin of the snake. Look, this is snake still lying here. So nevartata vanad vrajam. Earlier we read that the snake dried up and the children used to play in it, remember? But now it looked fresh. This is what it means going back in time. Earlier it was described when Krishna went and he expanded himself into the cowherd boys. Then it was described that they would play because the skin became dry and they will go inside and run around, hide and seek. Right? It was a nice place to play. But now again it is appearing fresh. So he showed it to them, and then he vanad vrajam nevartata. Then from the forest he went back to the village. So hasaniti tesam ananda darshanat. So Krishna was laughing. Why was he laughing? Because he saw that how happy his friends were when he has returned. So he was also happy. Abhyavahritya iti. So abhyavahritya means after eating. So varse gate api anna vyanjanadinam kshanardha matra parinamitvam jatam. So although 1 year has passed, so in that 1 year this lunch would have become rotten by now. Right? There will be worms in it. So it was not like that. So it appeared as if it is this food which is just as it was 1.5 minute, half a second, 1 minute has passed. Means there was no transformation in the food, there was no rotting. So therefore there was no bad taste. It was just the way it was 1 year ago. So Varasyam na Varasyam janayati iti bhava. Means it did not become stale and tasteless. Puti parishitam chatat bhojanam tamasa priyam. So it was not puti parishitam, rotten, bad smelling, tamasic. It was fresh. So darshan iti aho sakhaya adya mritoyam sarpo vasa raktadi kalilo vartate veti pashyati. So why is he showing them the snake? Because he wants to make sure that the children, they know that we killed it this morning only, and they will go and tell today that the snake was killed today. So he said, oh my dear friends, just see this dead snake which we killed today, which I killed today. It still has that blood and fat and watery stuff coming out of his body. Look at it. तद्वधस्य व्रजे प्रख्यापनार्थम योग माया एवं तावत काल पर्यंतम तत्तदाच्छादितम आसीदेति. So because this story has to be told in Vraja, so for that reason the Yoga Maya preserved the body of the snake as it is. This is to be understood. Vanat van viharanat vrajam cha vrajam jagami shesha. So after playing in the forest, then they return to the village. So the next verse describes how they are going back to the village. Barha prashuna vanadhatu vichitritanga prodama venudala shringara votsavadhyah vatsan grinannanugita pavitra kirti gopi drigutsav-drishi pravivesha goshtam. So pravivesha goshtam means it is Krishna who entered the goshtha. So Krishna entered goshtha, and then the rest of the sloka is describing how he appeared when he entered. So he was decorated with peacock feather, with flowers and garland and dhatu vichitritanga, and his body was marked. Just like these days you have all these tattoos on your body. So Krishna will also make designs, or his friends will make designs on his body with gyric. It's a type of mineral found in the mountain. And prodama venudala shringa rabhotsavadhya, and they will make sound which appeared like a festival, and they will make sound with venu, flute, dala, with the leaves. Like sometimes you can whistle with your hand, putting in your mouth. You can also whistle by putting a leaf inside your mouth and make different sounds. So they were also doing that. And the sringa with the horn. So various types of sounds they will make while coming back. So everybody will know that now they are coming back. And this was like a festival. Like in a festival you play with various types of musical instruments. So Utsavadhya. And Vatsan Grinan Anuga Gita Pavitra Kirti. And while calling the calves, being glorified by his friends. So his friends will sing about his glory because he has killed the Aghasura, and they will be talking about that. Gopi Drug Utsava Darshi. So he was a festival for the eyes of the gopis, and it is in this way that he entered into the Goshtha. So Grinan Uplalanair Avhyana. So Grinan here means calling lovingly to the calves. Gopinam Vatsalanam Drisham Utsav Rupa. And gopis who had motherly affection for Krishna, so to their eyes he appeared like a festival. So beautiful coming back. So this is how he entered into Braja. So there is another verse which will come later on. Barhapidam Natvarvapu Karnayo Karnikaram. So when he came there, then everybody, children very enthusiastically told the story of killing of Aghasura. Adyanena Mahavyalo Yashodananda Sununa Hato Vita Vayam Chasmad Iti Bala Vraje Jaguhu. So today he has killed a big snake, the son of Yashoda, and he has protected us, otherwise we would have been dead. So in this way the Bala, the children, they told the story in Braja. Yashoda Nandayor Bhagyam Anando Yasho Vayasmat Tatha Bhutena Sununa. So Krishna, who gives pleasure to Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, or who spreads their fame, he has killed a snake. Shak Parthivatvad iti Madhyam Padlopi Kamdhari. So this is a Sak Parthiv Samas, where the middle word is dropped. Shakapriya Parthiva means a king who likes green shak. So it's called Shak Parthiva. The Priya word is dropped like that. Sage is dropped here. Tasman Mahavyalad Vayam Cha Avita. Therefore we have been protected from the great snake. So now Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask a question that we will read tomorrow. If there is any question on this.
Lord, I have two questions. One is when Krishna returned to the real cowboys, did he withdraw the expansions of the boys and calves which he manifested into his body, or how did they disappear?
Yeah, into himself.
Okay. The other question is, if we look at this Leela from another angle, could we say that Brahma is not really at fault for doing that, because he was used by Leela Shakti as an instrument to enable Krishna to show this Leela and teach some important lessons like the power of prema and Krishna's position. So, and especially if you consider that he is the head of the Madhva Sampradaya and to some extent also of the Gaudiya Sampradaya.
Yeah, you can think like that. You don't have to blame him. I was just thinking that we have this word kidnap. So kidnapping is the original profession because Brahma kidnapped. And actually the word kidnap comes from this only because he put the kids to nap. Right? He is the only one who took the kids and put them to nap. And that's why you have the word kidnap. Otherwise, why do you have the word kidnap and not man nap or boy nap? So kidnap actually reminds us of Brahma only. No?
Babaji Maharaj. So my question was regarding this Leela. So earlier in Sandarbhas we did that when Krishna was like when the gopis were separated from Krishna. So when they felt the time was going in the normal like earthly time. So and that separation was enhancing the Leela. So here this separation is there for a year but still not there. So how is this separation and not being separation is enhancing the Leela?
Well, if it is not enhancing, how will it happen? Otherwise, if they remember that 1 year has passed, what has happened, they will be in anxiety, they will commit suicide.
Okay.
I mean, they will do something. Then how they will go and tell now that he killed the snake today? Everything will be confusion. There will be 2 sets of kids. Everybody will be confused. What is this? I have 2 sons now.
Okay. Yes. So how did the Brajvasis get to know that like this snake was killed a year before and they are relating it today, or only
No.
Parikshit Maharaj asked this?
No, that's why he's saying that they went and told that day only.
Okay.
Any other question? Okay. Cannot hear you. No. There's only some sound coming.
Is it audible now? Can you hear me now?
Little better, but not very clear. It's like
Okay, I think there's something wrong with my Bluetooth now.
yeah, there's something wrong. There's a lot of noise.
Okay, I'll maybe.
You can write in the chat. Okay, so you can write in the chat, we can answer tomorrow at the beginning of class.